Hey guys, this is probably my first take. We'll see if I can get through without crying. So, Saturday night, we went in to give T-Bone his bottle. And he'd been perfectly fine. I can't do without crying. Sorry. And he was down. So, anyone who knows bottle calves knows that when they go down, they're at risk of passing very quickly. We had just been with him 2 hours before and he was fine. And we'd gone to my daughter's graduation and came home and my husband couldn't get him up. So we pulled him into the other stall and got blankets on him, and we could get him up walking a little bit. He could hold his own weight. I couldn't get a suck reflex, so he wouldn't drink his bottle, and you can't give a bottle, obviously, if they're not drinking. And I couldn't get him to suck on my fingers. So that is a red flag, okay, for those who don't know. He was breathing good and his eyes were clear, not sunken, and there was no diarrhea or anything, but something was definitely wrong. And so we phoned the vet, and as he was en route to the vet, the sunken eyes and the diarrhea started, which is scours. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It happens. It can be deadly, not always. We got him to the vet. They put him on IV fluids, IV antibiotics, etc., and they couldn't save him. So we're very upset. He was very sweet. It's not just the financial investment, it's the emotional. And he's a little soul. He's not a nothing. So it's really, really hard. I'm a very strong person. But it's really, really hard. We did everything we could. The vet said we did everything we could. And we've been doing everything right. And with bottle calves, there's just no knowing. You just don't know. It's always a gamble. So you try your best, be as diligent as you can, and just literally pray for the best. And this one didn't work out. So I'm pretty devastated, to say the least. Every animal has meaning. Every animal has value. When you go to the grocery store, one of the biggest problems with our society, in my opinion, is this total disconnect from any real connection with the food. Where does your food come from? Where was it grown? What did it eat? Who was it with? Who were they as a living being? When you live on a farm, it becomes very real very quickly. It's been a really hard weekend. I'm only just dealing with my emotions today because the weekend was full of joy as well. My daughter graduated from high school And it was an absolutely amazing event and graduation and celebration. And so we held it together really well. He became really good at that on a farm, to not negatively impact her memory of the event. You know, she's not going to remember mom sitting in the corner crying because she doesn't see me cry. I cry on my own or on YouTube or Facebook. I don't cry when the kids need me to holding things together. But it's been rough, and I'm hoping that talking to you guys will help me process it a little bit, because it sucks. It really sucks. You know, if you've ever owned livestock, you know that every single one of them, from a chicken to a horse to a bison, mosquitoes, has their own unique personality. These are not soulless creatures. These are animals with souls and personalities. That's why we give them names. You know, we don't leave them nameless. That's ridiculous. I don't think getting attached is a bad thing. I think it keeps a realistic perspective and attachment to the animals that provide us with love and sustenance in various forms. And I think that that's very crucial, and it's a piece of our society that's missing. People don't know where the eggs come from. They don't know where their meat comes from. And every one of those steaks that you eat started off as a calf, bouncing through a field, playing with his friends. They make friends, and they have other animals that they don't get along with. I have 6 horses in the field here, and you can see where the friendships are and are not. You know, and when you lose that connection, you lose appreciation, you lose respect, and it also contributes to the food waste. When you raise your own, or you know where it was raised, and you respect the connection and you understand and feel the connection, you don't waste an ounce of anything. That's where you see homesteaders making bone broth and things of that nature that most people don't bother with. It's because we know where that came from. We're not going to waste any bit of it, you know. And so, it's just one of those really hard days on the farm. You know, I did a video not that long ago here about reaching your limits and acknowledging your limits, and knowing when to say no and when to stop and whatnot. And this is why. You know, this is just another one of those lessons as well. Know what your limits are. But I strongly recommend everyone find a way to reconnect with where our food comes from, because it really truly matters. Deep down, it really truly matters. So I don't know how to wrap it up, but that's where we're at today. We're grieving the loss, and he has been added to our pet cemetery along with various other pets that are there now, because at that age he's a pet. You know, 3 weeks old, he's a pet. He's a baby. And I did my best, and they said I did everything right, and there was an underlying infection or something that I was unaware of, and there was no way for me to be aware of. So it just kind of is what it is. So forgive me if I'm quiet this week, because I'm not going to be doing a lot of videos, I don't think. I need I need to process the loss, because I feel it very deeply. So I'll try to put up some fun videos because we have some new horses on the property and they're a joy to watch. So I'll try to put some positive stuff up. Sorry if this dragged you down at all. Never the intent, but for those who desire or follow or want to live the homestead life, this is reality sometimes. If you do it right, it's not often, but it is reality sometimes. And I don't think it ever gets easier. So I'm outside because it's been raining for a week straight. We've had all sorts of flooding all over Alberta and storm drains backing up and everything. We're totally fine here. But enjoying the sunshine and taking a break. And I figured I'd just talk to you guys and let you know what's going on. So I did take a video as he was sick and with him in the barn, and decided not to post it until we had an outcome. And I'm glad I did, because now I find that maybe it's a little bit distasteful. So I won't actually be posting that particular video of my calf as he was struggling and laying with me and cuddling me. He was brought home the bond, because he really leaned into me, looked for me and cuddled up with me like any, puppy when they're not feeling well. It was the same exact feeling. Should go see what my puppy's barking at. But I hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you're not getting flooded out. I understand that it's quite a bit of areas across North America that have got some extreme rain, so hopefully it's all good, and I'll see you in a few days when I am less of a downer. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.